Super Draco here, and we're back to continue Pack 2 of Build Optimus Prime. So to jump into it, picking up from where we left off, we've got parts TR2-19 and 2-46. So we're going to attach those together with 4 M3x6 bolts, and also 4 TR2-49 washers. So we've got our Allen key, and we're just going to hop to it. Okay, that's one. So, washer on the bolt, Allen key. Now, I always do this crosswise to kind of put so that there's not full tension on just one side of this. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I seem to remember my dad teaching me that, but I could have imagined that. Both are equally likely. Now, I know in the last video I was fast forwarding some of these scenes of repetitively mounting things, and I'm going to do that, but I got to show you at least once per video, I think. Don't mind my sniffling, still having the allergy problems. Alright, so now that we've got that, we're going to bring in the assembly we were working on in the last video. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take part TR2-28 plus the 2 assemblies we've been working on, and then we're going to bolt those to the assembly we did in the previous video with 4 M3x14 bolts. Now there's a little notch cut into the part that will fit over a little wedge to help you orient everything. Alright, so then we're going to take our bolt, we're going to put a washer on it. And don't mind my butterfingers. And then I'm changing my stance on the Allen key so I can get big long spins. Again, I don't know if that's a real thing or not, or something I just made up. It's entirely possible. This is a lot easier when it's flat on a surface and you're not trying to hold it in hands. Or hold it with one hand and turn it with the other hand. Alright, so we're going to fast forward the next 3 bolts. Okay, so next we're going to bring in part TR2-30, and we're going to mount that down with 2 2.3x6mm PV screws. Nice break. Now there's a notch, so you're going to line up the gap in the notch, and then we're just going to lock it down. So I think we'll just cut till I have the screws out already. Okay, so we're going to bring in the assembly with the smokestack we did in the previous video. So we're going to stick them together like so, and then the whole thing is going to be held together with 4 M3x8 bolts, and as always 4 2-49 washers. So I think going forward, this will be what I do after the first time. Is I'll show you one, and then we're gonna fast forward through the rest. Now this is a bit of an awkward thing to assemble, and it would also help if I were able to keep it on frame like I'm doing now. I just need to work on centering my shot, I think. Okay, with the first one, we're going to fast forward through the others. Okay, and so with that complete, then we're going to move on to the next step. So, for this next step, we're going to need parts TR2-07 and 06. So what these are going to do is they're going to sandwich around some of this mechanism to make it more visually appealing from the outside. So 07 has two screw holes that we're going to use to attach it down. So it's going to sit like that, and then we're going to mount that with two 2.3 by 6 millimeter PB screws. My yellow screwdriver isn't working so good, so we'll bring in our Optimus Prime screwdriver to finish the job. Okay, so then we're going to bring in part TR-206, and then we just sandwich them together, which is a lot easier. It sounds a lot easier than it actually is. There we go. Okay. And then with that done, we're going to move on to the last portion of this after I check to make sure the joint can actually articulate. Okay, for this last portion with the assembly in this orientation, we're going to bring in part TR2-27. It's going to line up where those four holes will match up, and then we're going to tie this down with four 2.3 by 6 millimeter screws. Lining this up is a little more difficult than you would think, but it's manageable. So again, I always try to go across from each other in circumstances like this to not put a lot of pressure on one side over another. There's 3. And 4. So now we're going to flip it over and repeat on the other side. I'm going to bring in part TR2-26, and that's also going to mount down with 4 2.3 by 6 millimeter PB screws. Okay, and with those 4 screws driven, I'm just making sure they're super tight with my other screwdriver. But that's going to do it for this video. I think we'll be finishing up Pack 2 in the next video. Thanks for watching. Check out my fantasy story on Fiction Press, and I'll see you for the next one.